I'm gonna be in the voice chat if people do want to join in just for funsies and see how they're feeling. Um, but I'm gonna be in comfy chat. It's gonna be all relaxed. But if you do want to vote in for yourself, I'll link it in the chat yourself. And let's have a bit of a discussion about it, man. So jump in the voice channel if you're feeling jaunty, and we'll discuss it. We'll talk about it. We'll go through each category. We'll leave game of the year till the end because this is gonna be a bit of a convo. All right, the whole point is a bit of a convo. So you're welcome to jump in whenever you feel like you want to, and let me know when you do, so that way I know not to be to give you the space to talk. I can't believe X was snubbed. X was snubbed. I loved X game. Right, so we got best esports events, best esports coach, best esports team, best esports athlete, best esports game, content creator of the year, most anticipated game of the year. Skull Island Rise of the Kong got robbed, to be honest. Best emotional narrative of all time. Best adaptation, best multiplayer, best sports or racing game, best sim or strategy, best family, best fighting, best RPG, best action adventure, best action game, best VR or AR, best mobile game, best debut indie game, best independent game, best community support, best ongoing. No game has made me feel the way I did when Skull Island crashed the fifth time. Jeez. Games for impact, innovation of accessibility, best performance, best audio, best score and music, best art direction, best narrative, best game direction, and game of the year. Okay. Like I said, if you do want to jump in the voice channel, please do. Do you want just join in? Why not? You know, let's have a bit of fun. Best esports event. Let's go. Best esports event. Evo. Evo gets snubbed every year. I want to pick Evo. But yeah, 2023 League of Legends World Championships, Blast.tv Paris Major. Don't even know what that is. Evo 2023, the International Dota 2 Championships 2023, and Valorant Champions 2023. I'm probably going to pick Evo because Evo is always excited for me. No FazCon. Yeah, FazCon wasn't even in a category. One day. Exactly, right? Geoff needs to sort his shit out. Needs to put in FazCon. Where was FazCon's nomination? Even though it doesn't exist right now. Okay? Right. I'm voting for thing. So, share your vote. Anyway, save card to share. I guess I could save card for share. Geoff, I guess I could. Oh no, I can do that. Okay. So I can press it and then change it whenever I want to. So I'll save the card just because then I have saved it. So I'll save the image. Look, even geese. Do it for geese. Just so you can say Geese Howard, Friday Night Fast Club, my beloved. I dare you to do the meme. I dare you to do the meme. View all categories. It doesn't let me say next. So, oh wait. For some stupid reason, it's on previous. So I guess we gotta do it this way. Best esports coach. Christine Potterchi, Evil Geniuses Valorant. Danny Zonic Sorensen, Team Falcons Counter-Strike. Jordan Gunba Graham, Florida Mayhem Overwatch. Remy, I have no idea. XTQZZZZ Quonium? I wish it gave me a bit of a thing. Team Vitality Counter-Strike. And Yun Hom Sung Young, JD Gaming League of Legends. I don't like any of these choices. Honestly speaking. I feel like there are other coaches in other areas that could have been mentioned here. But I guess they went. I don't know. I'm not even there as best coach. What the hell, Geoff? I taught you Shrek, Slipper Slam, Optimals, and this is how you rate me. See how it is. PR Valkyrie for best coach. Maybe that's what I'll do. Is just Photoshop everything and be like, all right, best coach is PR Valkyrie. Like, we're gonna make our own game awards with blackjack and hookers type situation. All right. I have to vote, but if I'm gonna go with something, I'm gonna go with this one. I'm probably gonna go with this one. So, this is the one we're going with. We're gonna go with best coach, esports coach, because I like Evil Geniuses. I think Aru is part of Evil Geniuses as well. So, it would be nice. Anyway. So that's one I've gone with. What did you guys vote for? By the way, let me know what you guys did vote for. I voted Evo and Christine. The buzzer was it's far superior. Geoff dropping the ball once again. At least I don't wear distracting shoes. You can always see the top half of my body. Maybe that's what I'll do just for funsies. If I don't like the game awards, like should I do like a Faz Awards thing? That would be dumb, but yeah, whatever. Just for funsies, I'll start like everybody has to dress up, and it'll take me 15 minutes to get through all the categories. I'll even give everyone like a reasoning and I think it was like the Faz Awards, and it'll just be my face on a trophy, and it'll be like. And the Faz Award goes to whatever I want to give it to, because it's my story. That would be so good. Also arrange some fake announcement trailers. Oh, okay, cool. I'll try to get some people to. I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but it'll be funny. Best esports team, recognizing a specific esports team, not the full organization, judged most outstanding for performance and conduct in 2023. So this is just the team. Also, I'm wondering if Geoff is going to be anti-political again, because he says one thing, then when it was about something he cared about, he put all bias in. But when it was something that had nothing to do with him, or he wanted to be not political, I wonder if he's going to shy away from it again. Because I can't not call him out for something like that. He did the same thing last year, because of the whole Activision stuff. I think it was that or the year before. That was the two. Evil Geniuses, Fnatic, Gaiman, Gladiators, JD Gaming, and T Vitality. Does anyone have any specifics around these? Because I personally do not care for most of them, except for probably Evil Geniuses. I'm surprised Moist Esports didn't make it on here, because I'm pretty sure they've been putting in a lot of work with getting their team in. Fnatic is a local team. I know that much, that these guys, I think, are generally British. So, but there's no sense of breakfast. To be honest, Geoff is a coward who bends over backwards to pretend everything is fine and makes very fake statements. Unless it's about Hideo Kojima. But yes, Evil Geniuses. We're going to go with Evil Geniuses once again, because nobody's giving me an answer. We're going to save the card. We're gonna change this to Team Faz. Team Faz, and we just put the Friday Night Funkin'. Unless it's literally his best friend, Hideo Kojima. Or Mads Mikkelsen. There's that one too. It's annoying, right? Because I want to give him the benefit of the doubt all the time, but it really does irk me with certain things. And I get why. I do. But you can't have it one way and not the other type situation. Okay. Again, best esports athlete. Arslan Ash. And Arslan Ash didn't make it on here is actually a shame. Arslan Ash won 2 Evos back-to-back. Something unprecedented. Represented Pakistan and didn't even get voted. What the hell? The esports every judge is most outstanding performance and conduct in 2023 irrespective of game. Where's Arslan Ash? I don't understand. I literally think this is a snub. Does he not pay attention? Arslan Ash wasn't even in last year's one, or even the year before that. That's so dumb. Geoff avoiding being political as White Skull Island Rising was left out, to be honest. It was deep emotional commentary about itself, with the true success of Donkey Kong 64 way too divisive to be nominated. Doubt there won't be a single mention of layoffs at all of this. I understand why it's difficult, but when you have one of the biggest platforms in the industry, it's frustrating to see it used purely as a marketing stunt and nothing more. No sin? Yeah, no sin. See, I don't understand why Arslan wasn't on here, or even Justin Wong. Both of those people deserve. Maybe he'll probably end up being in content creator, but right now, I don't understand. They gave it to it's like do you know what it feels like? It feels like the one time Sonic Fox won, it ruined it for every other fighting game, because I don't think I've seen another fighting game and player in here. And I really do not understand why Arslan Ash didn't make it. Monster isn't even on there. Not my esports player of the year. Not my esports player awards. Of course. To be fair, all of ours would generally I'd probably pick Splatoon player of the year and just give it to Mongoose. That's what I'll do. Best DK player of the year. Jazim. Everyone gets an award, but very specific things. Best person who's at Garfield Kart. Garge. But yeah, I don't understand the snub on this one. This is terrible, because he if I had to say a person of impact, Arslan should have won it when he won Evo the first time around. But he's the only person to have won it 4 times in one game setting. And he says irrespective of game, but where's the respect for the fighting game community? Where's the respect for even the racing community at that point? Because I'm seeing League of Legends, Apex, Valorant, CSGO, League of Legends again. League of Legends gets everything. And I understand it might be a bought thing, but if, like, it's kind of weird when Geoff says, oh, we did this because we're trying to be genuine, and then it's not actually respective. Like, I would, at this point, we're only on the esports stuff. We're not even talking about the games yet, and this is how heated I'm getting. If I was going to do it, at the very least, put it in as a respect. Like, yeah, maybe it is a bought thing. Maybe it is a bought thing. But be more respectful to all the other types. Where's the speedrunners on this? You know what I didn't see in one of the best events of the year? AGDQ. AGDQ should have been on there. Or esports or speedrun ESA. Like, what about the people who put so much effort into the charity events that do so much against, like, Doctors Without Borders and stuff like that? These are all, like, I understand esports players. I get that. But they deserve that respect too. These guys, not as an offense to all of these people, they are great players and whatever, but they're only part of the biggest games in the year, but it's not respective of the industry. So, yeah, I'm just going to say is this. Fuck you, Geoff, for this one, because you snubbed the fighting game community once again when you know full well that they've done so much. And this has probably been one of the biggest years for fighting games. Generally speaking, we've had 3 major releases: Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter 6. We've got Tekken 8 on the win. Best Golem game, best Golem game of the year award goes to Super Mario Wonder. Wow, that's harsh. That doesn't deserve that. It doesn't deserve that one. I'm thinking of Gollum as in, like, the Lord of the Rings Gollum game. But yeah, this is not on, man. This is so dumb. Why Arslan should have been in this list. At the very least, minimum, should have at least had Arslan on here. If you're gonna talk about whether it's diversity or whatever, I do not understand at any capacity of this why Arslan isn't in nomination. Even, like, common sense. Just common sense. Like, I'm pretty sure not everybody just puts their name in there for no reason. They don't get bought up with, like, oh yeah, we're gonna just put in anybody. That's the twist. It's an award designed specifically for Gollum game, but it goes to something else anyway. Oh, yeah, you got a point. Maybe that's what we should do. I really don't want to vote for anybody on this one. Should I go? Do you know what? I'll let you guys pick. What should I pick? Amadeus, Valkyrie. Do you have any specifics? Because I really don't want to give it to anybody here. All of these people have either already been here. Like, Faker's been here before. I don't care. He's already given. He's already here. Where's Tokido? Where's JDCR? Where's Ni? Where's Atif? Sorry, I'm so angry. I really want my thing. I wanted Arslan to be in there. Arslan should have been in there, man. This is annoying. Really goddamn annoying. I don't want to vote for this one. I really do. Pick Call of Duty, man, just because you play it. I guess you got a point. Fine. I will pick Call of Duty, man, but not because I like it. I'm going to be like, I'm downloading these just so I can put in whatever category. I'm going to, like, eliminate all this. I'm like, this is the person I think should have been on there, but they weren't on the list. Like, if I agree with it, I'll agree with it. But, you know. Okay. Best esports game. Again, Tekken not being on here. Street Fighter not being on here. MK1 not being on here. These are all legacy titles, and they all cover the same thing. Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, League of Legends, PUBG, Mobile, Valorant, esports titles, and Tekken wasn't on here. Maybe it's because the Tekken scene is way too small, but yeah. Yes, my favorite esports game, PUBG Mobile, yeah. The more I think about it, the more it annoys me. The more I give it headspace in my house, the more it annoys me. I'm just trying to figure out like how to best like frame this. Let's take it that way. There we go. I guess I'm gonna give it to Counter-Strike 2, but again, the fact that Tekken's not on here is frustrating. What was the biggest game of this year? Street Fighter 6, right? Street Fighter 6 had the biggest turnout game-wise, and it's not on here. $1 million prize pool, not even on here. Why? I really don't understand. Street Fighter should have been on here. Tekken should have been on here. My heart, it goes out to, like, even then, what if we talk, what about the F1s in here? What about the Forza Motorsports? Well, to be fair, there's no esports scene for the Forza Motorsports scene. I wish there was a speedrunner category. I really was. I'm going to go with Counter-Strike, but damn, man, this hurts. This hurts. Hang on. Let me save card, you know. Welcome to the TGA's Snubbed Awards. Content Creator of the Year for a streamer or content creator who has made an important and positive impact on the community in 2023. Iron Mouse is on here. People Make Games, Quackity, Spreen, and Cypher PK. Why am I not on here? I made an impact, right? No, I barely made an impact this year. Let's be fair. You know what? We'll make an impact. We're gonna you know, I'm making Fazcon, right? Fazcon. Where's Format GG? Where's Simran? I'm gonna pick Iron Mouse only because that's the only one I know in this entire list. And on top of this, I just voted Iron Mouse because people hate VTubers, so I want them to be. I want to make them bad. Probably. The thing is, like, I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna change it to my face instead, just to be. I'm gonna save it, get rid of it, and then add in my own one with blackjack and hookers. Anyway, going back to point. I also voted the Iron Mouse, the Iron Grill. Most anticipated game. See, Tekken 8 is here, right? Oh, it's Arika. I've forgotten Arika was involved in this. Tekken 8 is here, right? But doesn't end up in the other categories. How shit is that for me? I really don't like it. Recognizing an announced game that has demonstrably illustrated potential to push the gaming medium forward. This is actually a good one. Tesco 8, let's go. I'm surprised Tesco is still going. That was such a weird meme start. That is such a weird meme start. But yes, Tesco 8. I want to vote Tesco 8, but I know Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth would be the one that I'm like, that's most, like, let's be fair. I'm excited for like 4 of these games. Hades 2 is that the lowest. Sorry, let's go in descending order. Ascending order. At the bottom is Star Wars Outlaws. Don't really care much for it. It's Ubisoft, and I'm not sure on the quality of the game just yet. So until I see more of it, I'm a bit on the side of it. Then it's Hades 2, which obviously I'm excited because it's Hades. It's the first time Supergiant Games have done a sequel, and it's of a new character, and the character design looks great. Electric Wind God Knuckles Sandwich free with Tesco 8 meal deal. Then it's Tekken. Like, the thing is, like, I'm actually more excited for Tekken 8 because it's more closer to my time. But obviously, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, the game I was denied playing. I am salty. I am angry. I wish that I had played it. I wish I had the opportunity to play it at MCM. I did not. And I will continue to be salty about it. But, oh well. Gotta just let it go, right? But yeah, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. And I've played Tekken 8. I'm sufficiently excited. I'm surprised Hollow Knight Silk Song wasn't there. People talk non-stop about that game. I say non-stop. It just feels more like people. It's like Kingdom Hearts 4. Imagine we get King. The thing is, like, if anything that deserves it the most, it's definitely Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. If it's deserving of most anticipated game, Like a Dragon, because it's a different game. It's a different genre. It's a twist on the genre that previously preceded it. You know. And I really wished that more people were excited for it. But it's going up against Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. There is no denying and no way it's not going to get dwarfed by Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Do I go with my heart or do I go with my brain? Someone tell me. My heart tells me Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, and Tekken 8 because I know I love those games, but I know I'm getting those games sooner than I am going to be getting Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. And let's be fair, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. Why would I argue against it? You know, it's just my heart that wants me to be different, but it's my brain that tells me, you know, you're excited for that too. And I'm like, yeah, I am. I am super excited for it. Give me the Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. Persona 3 Reload didn't make it on here. I've always taken 8 for the people, for the community. I appreciate that, Via Valkyrie. I appreciate that. I'm going to go with Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth because I know for a fact Amadeus would hate me otherwise. I'm doing this for the community just as much. But Pia Valkyrie, you have my heart on that one. Thank you. Thank you for having my back on it. Because I wish I could do it on 2. But I'm not going to make a new account just to do this. Thank you. Like, I want to do both of them. Best adaptation. Wow, we actually have 5 movies. 5 things that was based on a video game this year. That's surprising. Twisted Metal, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, The Last of Us, Gran Turismo, and Castlevania Nocturne. Okay, the fact that Gran Turismo is our most anticipated game, Faz the RPG. Faz PG, right? That's the one. That's the one everyone was waiting for here. Not sure myself, honestly speaking. This one's a bit of a difficult one. I want to give it to the Super Mario Bros. Movie because what The Last of Us did is far easier than what Super Mario Bros. Did. And the Gran Turismo was the weird one. Out of this lot, it's the weird one. Twisted Metal was actually decent. We never finished the series though. We started watching it with Ibs and a few others. I think we watched about like 2 or 3 episodes, and I don't know if we got to the end of the season or we had a few more episodes left before getting to that point. I think if Damocles was here, they could tell me. I voted for Mario Bros. Just because they gave me Donkey Kong series. They gave the Donkey Kong series a lot of love. I agree. I probably would vote Super Mario Bros. Movie just as much as I would have voted for Sonic 2, the movie. But the fact that Sonic 2 went up against Arcane, and that feels like a snub because Arcane was not even in the same year, and yet still somehow Arcane was like, oh yeah, best adaptation. Let's go. Let's make it a movie award too. Fudge you. You just really love League of Legends. Or League of Legends really is bankrolling this entire award show. Fudge that, man. Seriously. I'm trying not to swear, but damn, man, that hurts my heart. Super Mario Bros. Movie will... If it's not The Last of Us, Super Mario Bros. Movie seems like the one because I feel like Geoff has too much respect for Nintendo to really F with the idea that something is better than it. It would be funny if Twisted Metal won, but it feels more like it's a toss-up between The Last of Us and Super Mario Bros. Movie. Not as an offense to Castlevania Nocturne. I did like it, but it was not... It didn't... It's still in the early stages of its series. And I would... If it had a really good second season or third season, because it's the same thing that happened with Castlevania. Castlevania was a unique thing for its time. There wasn't a good adaptation at that point. I think Project L is going to immediately win Fighting Game of the Year whenever it comes on. Probably. And that's going to suck. People love League. Yeah, you got a point. But it's like, how is this... You know when it's like the votes cast and yeah, you want to have... the votes cast. Like, the only reason why I want to vote for Twisted Metal is because Samoa Joe is in it. I like Samoa Joe. I like the person who acts as the main lead in this. He was actually pretty entertaining. The only reason why I don't want to vote for Super Mario Bros. Movie is Chris Pratt, because he didn't do that interesting of a performance. I did see the Garfield trailer that came out today. Did anyone else see it? I didn't think his performance in that was all that interesting either. Like, his voice is that generic that it feels more like one over the other type situation. And I don't remember Mario's voice in it. Yep, he didn't even try a voice. Exactly. So it's like, it's definitely going to seem like it's going to go to The Last of Us. But if I'm gonna go down, I may as well go down swinging type situation. Castlevania sweep. There he is. I will say though that Jack Black's Bowser and Charlie Day's Luigi is incredible. Oh, and don't forget Toad. What's he called? Toad stole that show. Toad stole the whole thing, in my opinion. Toad, well, no, let me rephrase. Bowser stole the whole thing. Toad came second. Both of those were like really great choices for it. And as much as everyone craps on Seth Rogen, I think Seth Rogen playing Donkey Kong. Seth Rogen is actually a really good Donkey Kong because he switches emotions very fast, and he goes from like jovial to dramatic, like over the top dramatic, and he did a really good job of it. I really liked the way he presented Donkey Kong. I thought Toad was going to be annoying, but they made Toad absolutely incredible for the movie. Exactly, they made him adventurous, which is like they gave us the one adventurous Toad, and that is all. That was a great way of handling it. It's great animation. In a lot of ways it shouldn't work. My only downside to the Super Mario Bros. Movie is the same problem. At least I'll give it this. It has more. I'll give it this. It has had more staying power than Detective Pikachu. Not as an offense to Detective Pikachu in terms of its visuals, its writing definitely needed a little more to sort of. I think it was just more like it needed some easier stuff. I think it tried to go for like too many deep things, whereas Super Mario Bros. Movie was a bit more, because it was a bit more shallow in certain areas. It was easier to catch them. Detective Pikachu, yeah. We definitely know The Last of Us is gonna win. So far, Last of Us is definitely the front runner here, and the fact that Castlevania got snubbed on the last one too, Defective Pikachu, damn, Pierre Valkyrie, damn. I'm probably gonna go. Yeah, this is a hard one because it's like there are many reasons to vote for all of them. I'm probably gonna vote for the Mario Bros. Movie. Because why wouldn't I? But yeah, I did. Yeah. Rare Faz L, jeez. Who? Well, I get a rare Faz L, jeez. Wow, I get. It's rare for me to get an L, jeez. Okay, fine. But yeah, Super Mario Bros. Movie. I'm gonna go with. I don't like any of the other nominees. Yeah, it's gonna be The Last of Us that's gonna win. That's it. Out of quality of everything here, unfortunately, The Last of Us is the best quality series in the entire thing, and it kind of deserves it. I'm gonna vote for Super Mario Bros. Movie because if it's not Sonic, it has to be Mario, right? That's the rule for me. That's the rule. That reminds me, Sonic Prime isn't in here. Also snubbed. Fudge it. I'm gonna switch this out. Sonic Prime is like way better. I forgot that Sonic Prime came out this year too. And it wasn't a bad series. It was actually pretty good. The fact that it wasn't nominated was annoying. Sonic Prime is bad though. It's not. Best multiplayer. How? At least Mortal Kombat didn't end up on here. Mortal Kombat didn't end up on here. Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Street Fighter 6, Party Animals, Diablo 4, Baldur's Gate 3. I didn't know Baldur's Gate 3 even had a multiplayer. Best adaptation, Faz interviews live action show from Fazflix. Best multiplayer for outstanding online multiplayer, gameplay and design, including co-op and massively multiplayer experiences, irrespective of game genre or platform. I'm trying to think what is the most played multiplayer game we've played all year, and it's always going to be a fighting game. I think we've mainly played Street Fighter, so I'm going to put my vote towards Street Fighter. But like I would even get to play the Tasty Steve cameo episode was crazy. That's a good point. That actually did happen. I actually did interview Tasty Steve, Nee, and Core 8 Gaming, which, let's be honest, that's not a sentence I'd ever thought I'd ever say. So you know what? I'm impressed with myself. Good job, past me. I still need to put out one more video from that as well, so I need to get that done. I've got like a few interviews, so I'm hopefully gonna have all the WASD videos up this week. So we have two more. One was for Alien Hominid, and the other one is with Badnik Mechanic talking about the Sega World statue and how it was sort of found, the sort of like origin story behind it, and how he was sort of involved with its sort of restoration. So look forward to those if you're not already on those. But the video that came out today was the fight between me and Neep Nelly. So that was the reason why I was mentioning a new video. But yeah, there's plenty of stuff coming out. I've even got to catch up on all the like gameplay stuff. Going back to the point now, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Street Fighter 6, Party Animals. The thing is, like, I think Party Animals would win. Diablo 4 would come a decent second, and Baldur's Gate 3, because I've never heard anyone talk about Baldur's Gate 3's multiplayer. I like, it feels more like Baldur's Gate 3 is too small to have been able to like buy their way in, so I think it's by quality they're in. Diablo 4 is a big deal. Party Animals was a big deal to Xbox. But I'm still gonna vote Street Fighter 6 because Street Fighter 6. Like, it was great following the content for all of that. So yeah, but the fact that Super Mario Bros. Wonder did make it this far in, is actually pretty cool. Was there any other like multiplayer games? I know we played Friends versus Friends. I know there's Golf with Friends. There was a lot of dungeon crawlers. BG3's multi essentially playing D&D co-op. It's cool. Okay. Thank you very much for that, PR Valkyrie. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Street Fighter 6. SF6 is great, but can't like post launch support launch hasn't been that good. To be fair, it took a while for post launch to actually get any more active, because they've also got to consider that they're basing their content around Evo and the Capcom Pro Tour, and they're basing everything off of that. Remember, we're kind of like, it feels more like to me with it feels like to me that with Street Fighter 6 is that we're in this sort of like reset phase, which makes sense. The game came out this year, right? And with it comes this sort of like readjustment of how everything's been presented, because this is the first year they've had like $1 million prize pool. And because they have $1 million prize pool, a lot of it is kind of pushed that way. So they've kind of set everything very far apart. So all of the content is coming out very slowly. I think the only downside to a lot of the content is all the avatar stuff. There needs to be a bit more ability to showcase avatar stuff. And the story mode was not that great. But at the very least, the multiplayer stuff still holds up. And it is fun. Let's be very fair. Best sports and or racing game. Exactly what I said. Released well, but the post-release support has been so poor. Avatar costumes is all we got to show for it outside of 2 characters. Still not even a rough date for Outfit 3. Yeah. Best sports racing for the best traditional and non-traditional sports and racing game. I'm trying to think of a game that we did. But you know what? I'm surprised we didn't hear about Payday 3 being on here. Payday 3 not being on the other one either is a bit of a strange one, because it feels more like Street Fighter should have been in this one as a sim, but it came up with straight up multiplayer, you know. Hot Wheels, Nickelodeon not making it on here is a bit of a surprise, because it actually did really well. I'm not gonna lie, I voted Hot Wheels. Do you know what? I'm surprised Pokemon didn't make it on here, because isn't Scarlet and Violet this year's category? Was that last year's? I'm pretty sure it's this year's, right? Because we had Legends Arceus this year too. Sorry. Not gonna lie. I voted Hot Wheels here just for the memes. Not gonna lie, have been really feeling the monetization push, especially after the whole TMNT situation and the costumes for the actual cast being really up in the air for any sort of timeline. Yeah, that's understandable. But as long as the multiplayer is generally fun, I would be more than happy to do it. I'm hoping Tekken 8 really does up the ante in terms of like what multiplayer can be done. Look, I'm just gonna say it now. Every Friday Night Fights Club, if we do Tekken, will be a Tekken Ball mode thing. I'm pretty sure everyone thinks the same way, but we're gonna do one. We have to do a Tekken Ball mode tournament. Welcome to the TBT Tekken Ball tournament. Order as well on the costumes, as they're basically what allowed SF5 to carry on after crashing and burning on launch. That is true. That is true. A lot of people did really enjoy all of the things. You got a point when you put it like that. Scarlet and Violet for worst game of the year category. Jeez, really? I thought he did really well. I really don't want to give it to any one of these, but you might be right. Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 might be the way. EAFC, definitely. And with so many characters, kits being not very functional, Manon and Jamie specifically, it's confusing. They just left it there, but they got instant with fixing the Rashid Infinite. Oof. Okay, yeah, you got a point. I think they're trying to be a bit more patient with it, because I think they're going back to a more longer content scaling, so that it's literally for an entire year, or more like a summer to summer, maybe even two seasons. So like a 6-month scale. so that they have more time so they don't rush out everything so often. Because that was one of the bigger problems with having so many characters. Tekken best racing game. Tekken is best racing game. Yes. Or when is Bloodborne kart racing game coming in? Wait. Where's F099? You've got a point. Where is F099? Would it have been considered best racing game? Well, it should have been. F1 just because of the Charles Kirk. Definitely, like, I enjoy the game, but there is also so many times I can play Ken matchup in a row. There's only so many Ken matchups in a row each day. Oh, that's a good point. I'm probably gonna go with Hot Wheels. I'm trying to go with what I kind of wanted to see. I would, yeah. I was legit having the talk with the best friend with a friend last night. How much top play is just Ken and JP? Oh yeah, you got a point. I didn't realize that was more of a thing than I thought it would be. Hang on, let me just fix something, because my phone is on bedtime mode. I'm slightly distracted by it. Okay. Yeah, it's stuck on purgatory once more. What is it saying? Hot Wheels Unleashed 2, turbocharged is probably gonna be the one I'm gonna go with, because yeah, you're right. The fact that F099 didn't make it on here is terrible. Maybe even Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, because it's finished its thing, even though the game came out like ages ago. I mean, if Fortnite can do it, can these guys can, right? There's also a bunch of indie games that should have been on here that didn't make it. I don't know why. Best sim or strategy? Advance Wars 1 and +2 Reboot Camp. City Skylines 2, Company of Heroes 3 by Fire Emblem Engage, and Pikmin 4. I wonder what we're all picking, guys. There are 2 Nintendo games. There are 3 Nintendo games on here. I actually want to give it to Company of Heroes because I think Damocles worked on it. That's kind of like the main thing I want to do. That's the main one. Well, no, that's not even Damocles didn't work on it. He's Amplitude. No, not Amplitude. Creative Assembly. But it's like, it's Company of Heroes, and it's one of his favorite genres. I'm probably gonna end up picking Fire Emblem Engage, but you know what deserves it? Pikmin 4. I think Pikmin 4 deserves the win on this one. It deserves to be a winner. FE Engage, I went into not expecting to like too much and think it's one of the best playing FE games. Really? That's actually really high praise. Maybe Vincent can lend me that one instead. Instead of 3 Hopes, I'm probably more likely going to finish that game. Let alone start 3 Hopes. Jeebus. I wanted to play 3 Hopes because I thought it was an interesting story, but I didn't realize how long the game would be. Story exists, but gameplay and map design is brilliant. My favorite strategy game is trying not to get banned for anything on Project L. My favorite, that is a great strategy game, admittedly. I'm probably gonna go with Pikmin 4 on this one. Does anyone have any, like, here's the main thing is, does anyone have opinions on Pikmin 4? Or like, what would you rather see get voted for? I'm gonna defer to the community here. Amadeus, Valkyrie, Nezuru, if you're alive. Pikmin 4, Fire Emblem Engage. I know there's other people who are in the chat lurking, but do give me your dubs and your L's, please. Who would you give it to? Remember, I am in the voice chat, so if you do want to join in, you're more than welcome to jump in the voice channel. We can discuss this. We can punch faces. If not, I will jump out. You know what? I'll jump out right now. And if people do want to jump in, just tell me when. I'm probably gonna be leaning towards Pikmin 4 right now as things stand, because I want to have I feel like Pikmin deserves the win, even though it seems like it's just gonna be a Nintendo win generally. I think it's either gonna be Pikmin 4 or Company of Heroes 3. Like, it has to be one of the two. See, Skylines, I don't know if I heard many good things about. But Company of Heroes is just, I'm a huge Sonic Sega fan, so it's just like I really want Sega outside of the Sonic and things, Sonic stuff to be on here. So that's where my head's at. But I'm gonna give it to Pikmin 4 because I think out of all of the games on here, it's the one game that we don't expect to take a win on everything. Like I think it deserves its time in the sun after so long being snubbed in every single category, being like, oh yeah, it doesn't even exist. So I hope it does win. Best family game. Oh my god, it's happening. It's happening. Sonic versus Mario once again. Here we go, boys. Sonic Mid-Stars. Now, I'm going to vote for it just because I'm going to vote for it. I'm gonna vote Sonic. I'm gonna vote Sonic. I have to. It's the meme, guys. I have to do it. If it's a choice between Sonic Superstars and Super Mario Bros. Wonder, I'm probably gonna pick Sonic Superstars because I have to. I haven't got a choice. Sega has my heart and my soul at this moment. Your L's are becoming common. You say this, but the true look. I Best Family and Fast and Furious is on there. Vin Diesel is insulted by this, and the writing is he tweet longer about Geoff right now. This cannot continue. Maybe he wants to rescind his entrance to maybe he wants to rescind his ability to, you know, when he was a guest host for Best Game, when he was playing Tekken, not Tekken, Tekken. Anyway, point is, I'm gonna vote Sonic Superstars. But if I think who should win, like Disney Illusion Island is a surprising pick here. Because we wasn't expecting it. But if we're gonna go with Best Family Game, it probably will end up being Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Surprise! When you say this cannot continue, I immediately thought of Nier Automata. I'm just saying that now. But yeah, it's either gonna be Party Animals or Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Pikmin I wouldn't really put in the family game category. I would have thought, because it isn't really like more of a multiplayer aspect. There is a multiplayer aspect, but more of a multiplayer aspect. And I think that's more present with Super Mario Bros. Wonder than I do think with Sonic Superstars. I think Super Mario Bros. Wonder will win, but I want Sonic Superstars. I like the war. The war never ended with Sonic versus Mario. So I'm gonna pick Sonic Superstars. It should be Tekken 8, to be honest. Nothing I say is shit. You got a point. You know what? That would be it. Just make meme versions for everything. It's like it just wins every category at this point. What's our answer to everything? What's the best strategy game? Avoiding Kazuya Mishima. Can I go a day in the world of the Mishimas and without having to deal with some weird drama from the Mishimas? Best fighting game. There we go. Pocket Bravery, let's go. Pocket Bravery, let's go. All right. God of Rock came out this year too. That's a good point, that. Nicholas Lodian, All Stars Brawl 2. So, Street Fighter 6 was in both multiplayer and this? Jeez. Not gonna lie, I forgot God of Rock was even a game. God of Rock was an interesting idea, which was basically a rhythm fighting game. The idea was that if you're consistent with your notes, you do better combos, and the better your combo setup, the faster you'd beat the opponent. That's the idea. So effectively, like if you have the same amount of notes, you'll be able to deflect and defend more, and maybe probably is sections where you could add more to it. I think somehow Mortal Kombat 1 will win this, but honestly speaking, Street Fighter 6 should win this. Pocket Bravery is the one that deserves their time in the sun, maybe. Actually, no, God of Rock. Nick All-Stars, I think they're part of the gang. Pia Valkyrie, you're the expert on this one. I think you've played almost every one of these. I think the only one I've played more than you have is Pocket Bravery. Which you guys? I voted for Nick Brawl. Devs communicate and patch. Oh wow, that's a ooh-wee. That's a spicy hot tamale. You know what? I'm surprised didn't make it on here. We played a lot of it earlier this year. What was it called? Um, what was that? What was the WB game called again? It was this year that we played it, right? What was the WB game? Give Pocket Bravery some love. Multiverses, and that was last year, I think. Oh wow, okay, it's been that long. It's been that long since we've heard from Multiverses. Jeez. Imagine we just don't hear from Multiverses ever again because they just, because WB has gotten into the habit of finishing something and then not selling it, you know? Like the Coyote versus Acme game. Acme thing. So give Pocket Bravery some love. I will give it to Pocket Bravery, but I think Street Fighter 6 probably, I think God of Rock deserves it in terms of head-to-head combat and innovation. Just because it's not something that we get to commonly see an idea put together of. So God of Rock would be one, but Pocket Bravery deserves it because it's a studio that that is a small dev team. It's an indie team and it's not had much of a thing. June 25th this year was when MVS closed, but it is returning next year. Ah, that's why. No, they should have been this year then. Should have been this year. Maybe it's just because I felt like it was that long ago. But yeah, I would give it to Pocket Bravery. Because Pierre Valkyrie told me to. Oh god, I got MVS. Multiverse was nominated last year for versus DNF Duel and KOF. Did it win? Or because I feel like DNF Duel should have won that because DNF Duel was the more superior fighter of the two. Best RPG. I know what I'm picking. We have Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Lies of P, Sea of Stars, and Starfield. I know what which is baffling because MVS wasn't even a full release. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it won. Jeez, yeah. I'm guaranteeing you there's going to be a second time where MVS is going to be in it. I'd say FF16 only because I haven't played BG3 and that would take it probably from me. Yeah, that's probably it. So here's what I think deserves it in terms of it made it to the list and therefore deserves the win. It made it to the dance. I wish there was an award called Made It to the Dance, a breakthrough award for each category. There's a difference between a game that was made by a AAA title, but by circumstances of quality and the entire story of this game, making it to the same quality as the regular, this is just it makes it to the nomination, but it should just be, this is the breakthrough game between the lot because nobody expected a game like this to have had this much effect on things. So for me, it's Final Fantasy 16. That's the one I'm going to end up voting for. But here's the thing. Lies of P and Sea of Stars are new IPs. Starfield is made by the folks at Bethesda. That was kind of the expectation of it. It's Skyrim in space for a lot of people, even though I know it's not. And Miss Bubbles is going to kill me for saying that. And Baldur's Gate 3 is Baldur's Gate 3. For this one specifically, if Baldur's Gate 3 doesn't win its own category, seems to be a bit of a weird one, right? Because it's literally an RPG. But if I had to say which one, what I'm going to vote for is Final Fantasy 16. Probably it's going to be that one. But what I think deserves more love and more attention should be Sea of Stars and Lies of P. Because the Baldur's Gate 3 is a sequel. It's a franchise that's been around for a while. Sea of Stars and Lies of P are new games. And Sea of Stars in particular I've heard nothing but really good things about Sea of Stars. And Lies of P was a game that was in development for a long time, which we didn't know much about. And it stuck the landing so well, it's greenlit a sequel. Sea of Stars was brilliant, but Sea of Stars was fantastic, but it is brilliant. So I really want to give more of a pointer to saying, I want people to understand, because I'm going to post this up on YouTube as well. So, but people in the future, I want you to understand that Sea of Stars and Lies of P, how important of both those games making it on here, how different that list really is, because of all the, because RPGs can mean anything at this point in time, but I always go with the idea of it being strategy first, the idea of more like a turn-based style setup, and the idea of making a build in some way. So to me, I'm gonna vote 16 because it's the one I've played, but I want to put special attention to Lies of P and Sea of Stars. So please go check those games out. I gotta take my own advice, but let's be fair, I don't think I'm ever gonna get the time. I'm surprised Like a Dragon Gaiden didn't make it on here, to be fair, but then again, it was right after I think it was right after the window, so we'll probably see it next year. Best action adventure game. For best action adventure game combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. I have not finished any of these games. It's 2 days old. Yeah, that's true. You got a point. RE4 Remake is the one you're picking. Star Wars Jedi Survivor is actually a really good game. Marvel Spider-Man 2 makes it on here, even though that game's like 2 weeks old. That's 11 days old, by the way. Shut Up is one of my favorite games of the year ever. Yeah. Alan Wake 2. I'm gonna give it to Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, but this is basically your, with the exception of Star Wars Jedi Survivor and probably Spider-Man, because I feel like those two will be interchangeable with Baldur's Gate and maybe something else that I'm not fully in the mix of. I think we're looking at the Game of the Year list for the most part, because I don't know if Marvel Spider-Man should be around long enough to be like, oh yeah, we're just gonna all vote for Spider-Man 2. But definitely Tears of the Kingdom. I feel like the thing I want to make point of with Tears of the Kingdom and awards season is timing of release versus when award season starts. Tears of the Kingdom came out in May, and to me, with Tears of the Kingdom making it from May to here and nothing is still dethroned, it shows how good the quality of the game kind of comes up as. And the thing is, the same goes for Resident Evil 4, because that came out at what, February? Maybe a little bit earlier than that. I think it was February, March time we saw Resident Evil 4 Remake. So both of those are like quantifiable reasonings of they've left such a huge impression on the sphere of gaming, right? Where, yeah, but that's because it's burdened by greatness. It's burdened by success, you know? Like, it's a 10 out of 10, but I expected it as much, you know? It's like, it's exactly the same food, but I kind of wanted something different. And the idea is, it was always going to be that way. The problem is the kind of sad truth of that being Tears of the Kingdom being as good as it is. The question comes down to, is it a Halo 4 situation? Halo 4 was this game that was reproducing a classic, and the studio that took over for Halo 4 did a really good job that it deserves its credit for bringing back a classic. It may not be exactly the same, but it's definitely up there in bringing together a setup where it's a setup where it was able to do that, you know? But the downside with that, in that situation, was that it led to worse things, and it was a fourth in the title, and it had closure. Breath of the Wild is, like, in terms of mechanics, it is very different. But what you achieve is something very similar. It's kind of, it's weird, right? Because the other side of it is, this is probably one of the first times in a very long time where we've had two mainline Zelda titles in the same generation. Up until now, we've had Skyward Sword for the Wii. We've had the remakes on 3DS. So we had Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, but that was like a huge 6 or 7 year difference. And with, if I remember correctly, that is. And then if we look at the Wii U and Switch, we had Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild was meant to be the Wii U title, and Tears of the Kingdom technically should have been the Switch title, but we got both of them for the Switch. This is a very different situation compared to what we're used to with thing. Did feel a lot. So to me, anyway. So my point was, up until that point, all we ever heard about was Wind Waker, the Wind Waker remake that came out on the Wii U. We had Twilight Princess. We had and we had Skyward Sword. Those were our main three games that we ever really talked about. Everything else came out on the 3DS with the DS and 3DS. So we had the Oracle Season series, the Link Between Worlds, which was the first time they actually went back to a game and made it like a sequel to something, to the events of something, and the final one being the Majora's Mask remake. So when you look at stuff like that, it's a wonder, right? Why Tears of the Kingdom has the response that it does. Like this sort of, it feels like it's great, but why don't I love it? And the answer is time, because like the game suggests, they like the game is, it was at a time point where there hasn't been enough time between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, where you would kind of forgot, or you're so used to so much reinvention happening between games, right? Like complete overhauls on it. And yet still it feels like you're playing the same game. That's kind of the weird part about it. So I feel like that kind of explains the problem, but it's no different from playing Star Wars Jedi Survivor and then playing, sorry, Fallen Order and then going to Jedi Survivor. Both of them are great games. They both accomplished what they did set up to accomplish, and with Jedi Survivor, it ups the ante, right? And yet still it is a different game. It is a different game compared to the first, but it's still more of the same. It's more of the same universe. It's, to put it bluntly, The Legend of Zelda is what it is. A sequel to a game. That's it. It's I wish it was less complicated than that, but it was a sequel to a game. And we're not used to that with I don't think Zelda fans are used to it. I don't think they'll ever be. I think they expect a lot more innovation, or a lot more differences, a lot more brand new elements to Tears of the Kingdom. But it was indeed a sequel. It was like, we're here for the story. This is the time where we're here for the story more than we are for the mechanic. Whereas Breath of the Wild, we were here for the mechanic first and wondering what the hell the story was even about. We had no understanding. We have two games to go along with it. We had Breath of the Wild, we had Hyrule Warriors, sorry, Champions of Hyrule, I think was what it was called. Was it Hyrule Champions? What was the Breath of the Wild like sequel, prequel, timey-wimey game again? That one. And then we had this. We've actually been, for once, overexposed on a Zelda title. It's weird. It's of course it's gonna be Age of Calamity. That's the way to go. Age of Calamity is the one, like, we've had technically 3 games from the same storyline. Didn't really like that game, to be honest. That's understandable. That's completely understandable. I think I'd rather watch the story for it. But to be like something, because it's basically your arcadey style game. Did you like Three Hopes? But to really drive this home, Tears of the Kingdom is what it is. It's a sequel to a previous game in its purest sense. The events of the previous game affected the events of this game, and while things are wildly different, they are also part of the same universe, and that's actually a good thing. Yeah, I thought Three Hopes was great. Best of the Nintendo Warriors games. I see. So let me just read what Amadeus had written, because we did go on a long-ass rant there. Tears of the Kingdom was a weird thing where I think about it as a 10 of 10. But it hasn't nearly left as much of an impact or kept in my mind as Breath of the Wild did. That's the exact issue. It's being so similar, and building off Breath of the Wild allows it to do things it does so amazingly, but also makes them blend together in my mind. Did feel a lot when playing Tears of the Kingdom. I was playing the greatest hits of Breath of the Wild, being drawn to go back to areas I already knew from the game rather than more natural explorations. See, so here's the thing with my experience with the game. I'm very slow, so my idea was I didn't want to go play the main story because I knew how short the experience might have been. So I've been exploring the entire time before I even bothered to go into other elements. The only downside to being an explorative player is that I only have so much attention span before I actually want to get back to the story. And Tears of the Kingdom is way harder than Breath of the Wild was when you begin that game. Like, way, way, way harder. Especially when you know that the game tries to railroad you, so you on purpose go to areas you're not supposed to go to, only to then find out that you might have had an easier time if you just followed the story. So, to me, Tears of the Kingdom accomplishes what it set out to accomplish, and I think that's what makes it more impressive, is the fact that it felt like a natural expansion of Breath of the Wild, which is what it should have been. That's kind of the weird part, that a departure does not always mean it's a good thing. And Jedi Survivor ups a lot of the ante when it comes to its story and added a lot. But there wasn't quite anything like the third sister in the first game and the meeting of Darth Vader the first time at the end of the first game. Whereas in the second game, the fight you have with Darth Vader was so cool, but you wouldn't see him meet with Cal Kestis, and we don't know if that's going to happen again. So to me, it's like one of them. The other side of it is Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 is a you can tell me more about this, Amadeus, but from my understanding of it, Resident Evil 4 is a remake, but not a complete rehaul of everything. They didn't take everything back and put it to the drawing board. They improved on everything that made it great. And I know you were telling me it was like the greatest of the Resi series for you. Like it's taken over the original 4 for you. But there was a lot of campiness that was in the original that it just isn't here because it's more in line with Resident Evil 7 and 8, as far as I remember. So the question ends up being is if Tears a reimagining is the best way to describe it. Exactly, right? But it wasn't different, was it? Like it is, yeah, this is my new favorite and one of my favorite games to ever, to be honest. The way I would kind of look at this is Resident Evil 4, does it take it's a reimagining, but is it different from the original? And to me, I think the answer is no. I don't think it's different from the original at all. Yeah, I think it still contains the same story beats. I think Rebirth will be the bigger identifier. It's definitely built off of RE4 and its spirit, but has a lot of unique elements to build its own unique identity. Exactly, right? So this is kind of the problem you have here. You've got a remake in the same one. What I've heard from Spider-Man 2, by the way, on a complete side note, there's value in playing both, like FF7 and its remake. I still need to play the original FF7. Maybe I should make that into like a sub goal or something. Just to be like, play FF7 original. Okay, I guess. But the main thing I need to get away from this is Star Wars Jedi Survivor is an expansion of a story. Like, to me, I feel like the problem with Zelda, like, I'm going to vote Zelda. That's going to be where I'm going to be heading because it's the one I've only played between the set of games that we have. But Resi 4 is the interesting one in this category because Marvel's Spider-Man 2 we had to wait for a long time for, right? It came out in 2018 and we have it in 2023. That is what, almost a 6-year wait. And we had Miles Morales in between, which was more like an indicator of how that story is going to go. Like similar to like how Gaiden is to Thing. The difference is the gap between the two games is too short. It's great sequel, but really found really technically unstable. So many crashes. Exactly, right? But did that make it a bad game in its best situation? That's kind of the question. Marvel Spider-Man 2, from my understanding of it, is that some people, and this is only based on one person's view of this, so I'm kind of like trying to navigate how to best adjust this. Is it better than the original Amadeus? That's the question. From my understanding, for a lot of people, it's the similar situation to Breath of the Wild, where the first one did so much great that when it came to the second one, is not that it builds new areas, but not new ground. Does that make sense? What it does is, if you're looking for, it gives you a wider environment types to work with, but it doesn't break new ground in terms of what's already been accomplished. It's not wide enough. Whereas it feels more like, at least the way I defend Legend of Zelda, I feel like that's the problem you have with Legend of Zelda as well, where it doesn't break new ground, but it expands on so much that's already there that you have more to look forward to. And that's what I think Marvel Spider-Man 2 may end up having. From the one person that I had spoken to about this, they said that it didn't accomplish what needed. It didn't accomplish what the first one did. The first game is probably better at making you feel like Spider-Man, but 2 expands the gameplay and system so much more. See, that's what I think. This is the thing. What you've just written is basically what you expected from a sequel. That's the point, right? That's exactly what you're expecting. With Zelda, you never expected this. This is not something it is common for a Zelda game. in fact, sequels have never been common in a Zelda game at all. So the question is it more impressive that Zelda was able to do it and stick the landing? Or was it less impressive because it felt so common? Does that make sense? You don't play a Zelda game to play something common. You play a Zelda game to play something different. Is that what you were expecting? That's the question. Alan Wake 2 is probably one of the better examples of a game where its sequel expanded and broke new ground to the point where things changed. Things were completely overhauled and retooled and effectively, or what I'm assuming it made it to the list for a reason, made it to the point where it was that different and that much more new and that much more nuanced and added so much to the gameplay that it was able to hold its own against something like Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. The problem I have with Game Awards season is recency bias. So to me, I think the fact that Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Resident Evil 4, and Tears of the Kingdom still here, still being talked about is great. It's good. The question just comes down to, what were you looking for in a sequel? I feel like if you can answer that question, you know which one you should vote for. I know what I'm voting for. I've been here for a while, so we're going to be voting for Tears of the Kingdom because it's the one I played. I should play the other ones because I've not had a chance to, but time is a construct and it's really annoying. Also, I've still never played Resident Evil 4. Never. I've only ever watched playthroughs of 6 and 7, 7 and 8. And but I've never played any Resident Evil. To be fair, I feel like recency bias isn't in too much of effect. Yeah, it's just that I always like the idea of something recent is annoying because Spider-Man 2 is here and it's only an 11-day-old game. Doesn't make it a good game because it's recent. God of War had the same situation last year, which came out in February. Exactly, right? That doesn't mean that it won't win in general though. Best action game. See, I'm confused by this one because this one says action adventure and this one just says straight up action. For the best game in the action genre focused primarily on combat. This, I feel like, should have been Final Fantasy 16. Because it's literally Final Fantasy 16. But yeah, I think Final Fantasy 16 should have got this one. Honestly speaking, I think Hi-Fi Rush because it deserves more love. It does. Tango Gameworks as well, which is, I believe, the same folks who made Evil Within Devil. May Final Fantasy should be here, yeah. Which is weird because it's not. But the end again, it should have been it was in RPG as well. So this is why I find it weird when someone defines RPG. It's just like, well, an action game is also an RPG. There's so many versions of a strategy RPG and so on and so forth. It's weird when it's defined that way. I would probably give it to Armored Core if I had to pick something to be on here. But the games I want people to focus on is Hi-Fi Rush is one. A shadow dropped game. Think about it for a second. It was a shadow drop game and it had so much chutzpah in terms of doing something like that it came out the same day it was announced and it did well. So in that sense, Hi-Fi Rush deserves a lot more love. And then the second one is Remnant 2, which I haven't heard anything about. The first one felt like it didn't come out that long ago. But I just heard Remnant 2. I've seen people play Remnant 2, as in like stream it. And the fact that it is on this list, and Gearbox Publishing is not exactly one for its quality in games at times, is something it means that it's probably worth checking out. Dead Island 2, it has been an announcement for a long time. There has been 3 Goat Simulator games in that time, although it was funny because Goat Simulator took to make that fact that they did a Dead Island 2 meme on it. But it's nice that Dead Island 2 is here, but I feel like, again, Resident Evil should have been on here. I feel like Resi should have been on this one. Star Wars should have been on this one. It feels more like this should be flipped. I feel like Action Adventure should be on this one. And everything in the action-adventure genre should be this, effectively, because it's more in line with that sort of setup. But I'm going to give it to... You want me to give it to Hi-Fi Rush? I'll give it to Hi-Fi Rush if you want me to, Amadeus. But if I wished away, it would probably be Armored Core, because I feel like more people should know about Armored Core. Ghost Runner 2 is nice to see on there because I didn't know your vote. I vote for what the community wants, and they want me to vote for Hi-Fi Rush, so I've given it to Hi-Fi Rush. So I'll give it for Mark with a C, because he did the whole cosplay for it too. He really liked Chai. Okay, we are halfway through. This is gonna take us a while, isn't it? I told you this is why I should have done the thing stuff at the end. Maybe it's a good thing I did this stuff. Best VR or AR title? Of course, there's Resident Evil right there. Gran Turismo 7 is still in this? That game's old as heck. Jeez. Just give me a console name. Horizon Call of the Mountain. Humanity. I don't know anything about this game. How is it that a game called like Gran Turismo makes it on here and Humanity makes it on here? But I feel like there hasn't been that many new games. Probably Horizon or RE8 from what I've seen. I'm probably going to give it to RE8 because it's something I understand. And if it's anything based on Max's experience or even when I see Ibs play some VR titles from the time to time he does try it, I enjoy what I see. So I'm probably going to go with one of them too because I'd rather go with something I know. So I'm going to go with Resi. I'm gonna go with familiarity bias, but I don't know about Horizon. It seems more like Horizon Call of the Mountain is gonna win, because it's the most high profile game out of the lot of these. That's it really. But I'm gonna give it to this because I don't know. Like this is the problem with the VR library at the moment is there isn't really much to the categories. There isn't really much to the library of VR titles. There's not many people producing it or at least seeing them to their end projects. And I don't know what to do. I can't see there's still no practicality behind it. There needs to be an easier way of developing for it. Best mobile game for the best game playable on a mobile device. Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, Hello Kitty Island Adventure, Honkai Star Rail, Monster Hunter Now, and Terra Nil. You know what's going to win? You know what's going to win? This one. This one is going to... I might just vote for it because it kind of deserves it. New IP. From Hoyoverse. They did it again. And they've differentiated themselves enough from Breath of the Wild that they don't have to deal with that issue anymore. Don't know anything about Terra Nil. Monster Hunter Now, obviously. Niantic winning another one because they had Pokemon Go before. Hello Kitty Island Adventure would be an interesting one, but I've still not heard many people talk about that. Honkai will win because the players want the free stuff. That is true. Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. Well, until I see it on PC and Kuja's fit from FF9, I mean, I guess that's true. I want to give it to Ever Crisis, but I never bothered to download the game, so I should probably check it out. But honestly speaking, I don't know when I'm going to be able to. I seen Sayorichu play it on her stream, but yeah, I'm probably going to vote for Honkai Star Rail just because it's the one. Again, it's familiarity bias, unfortunately, but I've seen more people talk about this one than I've heard about other ones. So. Until ZZZ come out. Hello Kitty Island Adventure clearly clears. Yeah, that is true. Gacha though, so who cares? I mean, it's Final Fantasy though, so I guess you do. Vote for non-gacha. Vote for the non-gacha. Which is the non-gacha? You mean vote for Monster Hunter? Or Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis? I'm very easily swayed at the moment. I'm waiting for your answer, Amadeus. Which one are we talking about? I don't even know. Vote for the non-gacha. All of them. Yeah, but I'm sticking with Honkai Star Rail until you give me an answer. You know. Best mobile game Twitch has to watch Fast D content. Ah, thanks. Thanks. Should change. Thanks. Best debut indie game. Cocoon, Dredge, Pizza Tower, Venba, and Viewfinder. See, I want to be culturally biased because I want Venba to win. I'll say as it is. Uh, Pizza Tower. Pizza Tower for me, really cool and unique platformer. Yeah, but that's the reason why I want to pick Dredge and Pizza Tower. They're the two that I think Viewfinder's gonna win. Because I've seen more people talk about that game, or at least based on the previous one. I say more people talk about that game, but really it was just because it was based on the BAFTAs. Pizza Tower would be the one, and Dredge would be the other one, because Dredge came out earlier in the summer. I think Pizza Tower came out around about the same time, and both of those games had an impact. In my opinion, a lot of people reference Pizza Tower quite a lot because of its art style, even though it took a really long time for that game to come out. Congratulations to all of these teams for getting their games out there. Like, you should always remember that indie games, any game coming out an indie level is always a miracle. When it's at a AAA level, it's a bit of a different story, because there's always a push towards the deadline type situation. But I feel like with indie games, it's far less the situation. You know, there's only so much you can do. But I want to give it to Venba, because a cultural bias, I'm going to say, is it's a cultural thing. I remember being really excited for this game when it first came out, and to see it thrive is actually what I would like to see. I think if I had to pick a game, yeah, the amount of animation frames in Pizza Tower is absurd. They put in so much for every little interaction. Yeah. But if I had to say, like, what deserves more of a say, is probably gonna be Dredge, because it is Dredge and Pizza Tower. They're the two. Because while I'm voting for Venba for my reasons, mostly, like I said, it's cultural. It's because I've not seen a game that represents what I want to see in a video game, and I remember being very excited for it when it first came out. I've still not had a chance to play it, but if I ever do, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be sad and I'm gonna cry. And I always like a game that gives me a good cry. I'd probably pick Pizza Tower and Dredge, because Dredge is one of those unique titles of, it's a fishing game. And the idea is, how far would you go for the greatest catch, for money? And Pizza Tower is just a game I've been seeing for such a long time. I don't know. I wish I could tell you, VR Valkyrie. I actually have never played it. I've told you I've gone for cultural bias here. But I remember when I wanted to see it, it was basically a game about a family, an Indian family creating Indian food. And the idea is like their sort of how they deal with life. So it's more like a life sim in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways, it's got a lot of similarities in that way for Greece. There is no like win or loss conditions. You kind of just play through the game, and at least I don't feel like you do. It's more like what's it called? A point and click. So there's that one. You know what? I am surprised didn't make it on here. Moving Out 2 and the other unpacking game. There was another one that came up. Well, this is debut, so we'll see if we see him. So, but I'm gonna go with Vemba, because that's just what I want to do. So, apologies, not very good reasons, but they are there. Best independent game for outstanding creative technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional platform publisher system. So a lot of these are the only one that is not in a debut setup. Sorry, the two are not in a debut setup is Dave the Diver and Sea of Stars. I'm gonna go vote for Sea of Stars, but I remember I just like the concept of what Dave the Diver was. Cocoon was, I remember seeing a trailer for this because we were watching it for the of when we were going through the BAFTA winners, like what we thought of, everyone who won, and we kind of did a bit of research. We do research around here. We watched the trailer and stuff. It was a very unique concept. Dave the Diver isn't an independent game, is it? It is an independent game according to this. It is an indie game. It's like, for example, Dredge has a publisher, which is Team 17, but it is still an indie title. So basically, it's a budget title. So that's kind of how I look at Dredge and why I think Dredge should be given more of a shout. I mean, I'm talking about this at 1:30 at night. Jeez. But I'm gonna give it to Sea of Stars because I heard nothing but good things about it. I had a friend who did play it, and they, I think, should be able to get it 3-2 then, shouldn't it? As it's an independent game. You are right, but maybe because it had a higher budget. I think it has to be firmly an independent game with a very small team by comparative to something like this. But I will give it to Sea of Stars. You are right if that is the case, you know. Best community support. Recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsive, inclusive of social media activity and game updates and patches. It's your boy, Final Fantasy 14, out here once again, burdened by greatness. No Man's Sky is out here too, Destiny 2. I'd probably say Cyberpunk 2077 deserves the win on this one. Because of how much they have improved since Phantom Liberty. You know, for Phantom Liberty, it's the critically acclaimed MMORPG. No Man's Sky is still going is insane. The fact that it's had such a turnaround and it's rivaling 14 is a bit of a problem in my opinion. When they did this for the BAFTAs, No Man's Sky won. Honestly speaking, I think Final Fantasy 14 winning is like the same reason why Tears of the Kingdom. You know, it's the same problem with Tears of the Kingdom here. Let someone else have a chance to win, you know? Has had a lull, yeah, it can have a rest. Except for Psych! We didn't bring in Little Gem for nothing. But yeah, I want to give it to next year. Downtrail will be fire though. Yeah, I'm probably going to give it to Cyberpunk 2077 because if anything, I don't know if it's because like Cyberpunk 27. I don't know if it's because of the community that kept it going. But the fact that they did patch as much as they possibly could, because they still haven't. This is Cyberpunk 2077 really went the way of No Man's Sky when it first came out. It was terrible on release. No Man's Sky had the same issue, but they fought back. That was the difference. Hello Games fought back and they managed to make it through, even though they you know they burned goodwill on the people who bought it first. But they rebuilt it with new players, and that's good. Same thing with Cyberpunk 2077. So I'm probably going to say Cyberpunk 2077, especially with the whole layoffs thing with Bungie at the moment, with Destiny 2. Square Enix is fine. I'd probably heavily give it to Final Fantasy 14 if it wasn't for the fact that Cyberpunk 2077 was on here. Baldur's Gate 3 is going to win other things. It's fine. Best community is Friday Night Fast Club, to be honest. The patches, transparency, and updates have been crazy. Buffs and nerfs by the Nintendo tax is also in about. I can't believe you referenced the Nintendo tax. Oh, God. If you're ever gonna pop me, just give me a compliment. Jeez. But yeah, Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be my community-supported game. I don't know how, but if it's going to be a case of improvement that the community has actually really been listened to and the feedback has improved so much, that's kind of what I'm basing this on. I'm hoping that the community does really appreciate the new game. Okay, best ongoing game. Cyberpunk 2077, Genshin Impact, Fortnite, Final Fantasy 14, Apex Legends. I'm just going to give this to Final Fantasy 14. As much as I want to give it to Genshin Impact, which, let's be fair, done a lot of things to improve things. I can't really argue with the others. Like Fortnite has had a recent update, which is fine. I understand it, but it's Fortnite. That's kind of the main problem here. I really do think best ongoing game should not, you know, like I don't want to punish a person for winning all the time, but I do want to punish it more like saying that it can't always be the only one improving. But I guess Genshin will win because players want those primo gems. That is true. Voting Genshin for the free awards. I guess. Basically, I mean, I'm not. You can have my stuff. You can have my stuff. Unless I give my stuff to someone else. I guess I could do that. I've already voted for Honkai. I don't need to give him Genshin stuff, do I? Do I though? I mean, to be fair, the Friday Night Fast Club has been a bit of a hiatus, hasn't it? We were supposed to do a Mortal Kombat tournament. It didn't really happen because we didn't get a chance to. Games for Impact. Oh, wow. So we can have more than 5 games for this? Okay. For a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. They bought it last year to make sure Genshin beat Frontiers just for the premium currency. Oh wow! The only thing I know is that Frontiers were robbed, and it was funny though. They see like it was Sonic versus Frontiers. Venba baby. Guess what I'm going for? Goodbye Volcano High. To be honest, I think Goodbye Volcano High might take it. But the thing is, you have a category like this and you don't talk about the thought-provoking, pro-social meaning means it's political. I would rather that we did not think it. I don't know any of the games, but Venba is the Cooking Mama sequel we all needed. I'm gonna vote Venba because I don't know the other ones as much. But to be fair, I've seen more about give it as much of a chance as we possibly can. I should make a category called Fast for Impact. Innovation in accessibility. Recognizing software and or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. I really wished that this didn't seem so broad of a term. This is too broad. They need to be more specific on this. Stop. I understand that you want to say it's called innovation in accessibility, but honestly speaking, saying by an even wider audience is like saying, well, I introduced another language. That's great. What they should be saying is help games be more accessible to newer audience, maybe, or at least to an audience that wouldn't otherwise be available to it, or to make games be played available. That's the key word there. Available to a wider audience. Available is the point here. I don't know. I don't know. Which one would do any of these? The best game for Impact is Shrek Super Slam, to be honest. The roster offers so much range. That is true. I don't know what any of these games have done for accessibility, and that proves how much either... we have Street Fighter 6. I don't know what they've done for it. But there is one reason, and one reason alone, where I will pick Street Fighter 6. And it's because of the blind dude that beat one of the players from beating a player in tournament, and they managed to do it. Sony has been amazing on the accessibility game. They have been, I'm not gonna lie. Spider-Man 2, understandable. I don't know what Hi-Fi... I know Hi-Fi Rush may have made it easier in the sense of that you can slow it down so you have a bit better on timing. I don't know what Mortal Kombat 1 has done. They still haven't added a mode where I don't have to see the blood. So, that would be cool. That's a good reason, to be fair. Forza Motorsports, no idea. No idea what it's done. Diablo. And literally, the Street Fighter 6 one is literally... I'm going to go with Street Fighter 6 because the fact that it uses what it knows to... It's because it was such a heartwarming story. This is why I think it should be... I feel like it's been snubbed. Fighting games have been snubbed in the esports series arena. I can't think of a single time. I'm going to be very clear about this. Of all the games that was mentioned in the esports area, how many of them have a blind player playing and was showcased? None? Zero? Zilch? Nada? How come that person wasn't in esports player of the year? Oh, because he was blind. I get it, that he was blind. But maybe they could have made it as alternative esports player of the year. No? Okay. Never mind. Monikers and audio options make Street Fighter 5 6 work, especially for the genre notorious for being a try your best drown or drown design mentality. Exactly. It's more like it's the Elden Ring setup. I want it to be that it's that sort of mentality. Best performance. Is Natara here? No. Thank flip. Good. I'm glad that Natara is not on this. Jeez. Anyway. Easy choice. Are you sure? I don't think it is. I want to give it to Knuckles. I want to give it to Gankles. I know who I'm going to give it. It's going to be Ben. But I'm going to give it to Gankles. I voted Ben Star myself. He's right there. He's right there. I want to give it to Ben. Ben deserves it. Because I loved it when he was playing Mario. If there was, let me show you why I would have voted for Ben Starr for his role in Final Fantasy 16. Let me get right back at you. Okay, hang on. Ben Starr. The Ben Starr. Hang on. Let me follow the Ben Starr. Hang on. Where's hang on. Wait, hang on. I wish to play the play the cube in Spider-Man 2 PS5. I love like for every other reason that could be. Hang on. Clive and Geralt take on the same contract. Hang on. Hang on. I want to find it. I'm going all the way back to find Ben Star Mario. Wait, I'm pretty sure we have it in the chat somewhere, right? Can someone find it in the Discord if they haven't already? Like, just find it for me so and make my life easy. Media. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know they did like a whole video for it. I've done this the really hard way, haven't I? It's a good thing I'm not showing you the Twitter right now. Ah. Sorry, can someone find it? Someone please help me find this. I have to do this for a bit. Even aside from the FF bias, he was legit brilliant in 16. He was. Oh, damn it. Why? Why can't I find it? Ah, there it is. There it is. Thank you, Mongoose. So let me try this again. So we're gonna vote Ben Starr and from Final Fantasy 16 because I loved it when he played in his role as Mario.
It's a Mia, a Mario. You looking for Mario? Because it's a Mia. Look who it is, me, Mario. What the fuck are you looking at? It's a Mia, a Mario. Who am I? I'm a Mia, a Mario. A Mia is a Mia, and I am a Mario. Fuck you. It's me, Mario. Who am I? I'm a Mia, a Mario. Yeah, that's right. Mimi is a Mama Mima Mario. Mario? Yeah, that's me. Go on.
Oh, God.
Fucking leave. It's me, Mario. That's fucking right. It's me fucking Mario. I'm not fucking Mario, I'm just Mario. Yeah, got him. It's a Mia.
Never change. Never change. There was ever surprised Alex Lee didn't make it on here, but yeah, Ben Starr. We have to. Like I know all the Baldur's Gate simps will do this, but there was a performance. As I'm gonna change it to Ben Starr as It's a Me and Mario. Have you seen this baby girl Zaddy one with and Zaddy one with Sid's V8? No, I haven't. Can you please send it me? So that I can get it out of my system. When will I do an interview with Ben Starr? I would like to do an interview with Ben Starr. Ben, if you think I'm cool, can we do an interview together? I've interviewed other people. I want to interview you too. I would love to. Thanks. Would really be cool. This is my audition.
Clive.
Hang on, wait. Hang on. Wait, let me read this properly. Clive and Sid changed their names. Okay.
Sid.
Clive, what news of the mother crystals?
Baby girl.
Excuse me?
It's baby girl now.
Baby girl Rossfield.
Baby girl.
It's not the sexiest name in the world.
You should have heard what people said about Clive.
Yeah, they really wouldn't let that go.
It was rough.
Yeah.
It was so rough.
So why baby girl?
Since I got word from my fans that I'm apparently very baby girl.
Oh, just wind that back a bit.
Sid, I have fans. I have fans.
You have fans?
I do. I have fans, and they recognize my adorable soft center and my fantastical quirkiness.
They probably just like your abs.
Everyone likes my abs. We discussed this.
And who are these fans of yours?
The same people who call you Zaddy.
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 What the fuck is Zaddy?
You, apparently.
I am not a Zaddy.
Oh, yes you are. Yes, you are.
I'm bloody not.
You're the most zaddy, like the zaddiest zaddy.
How am I a Zaddy?
You're sarcastically fuckable.
Okay.
And your charisma could get a walnut pregnant.
Now, you see, I do love a walnut.
I know, I've seen what you do to them.
Maybe I am a little bit zaddy.
You are so zaddy.
And you're very baby girl.
Thank you, I am.
So, what are we going to tell Jill?
Oh, it was her idea in the first place. She's been calling you zaddy for months.
Of course she was. So, what do these fans say about Torgal?
Don't ask.
That's actually really hilarious. I see. I see. I don't see Idris Elba talking about him being Mario, but he was snubbed for his role for Knuckles, so you know. I want to vote. I want to vote Idris Elba just because to spite people for to spite his Knuckles. Anyway, sorry. I loved his role in It's a Me Mario. Okay, best audio design. Dead Space, Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4. I guess technically speaking, the best ones to give audio space is gonna always give me Alan Wake. Like the horror games usually win out when it comes to whether they should or shouldn't win, just because it's easy to. I feel like it's better when you add more. Like I find that it's like an easier understanding to add more than to add less. Like to build atmosphere and trying not to add little things. It's always little tiny things that build tension. So I feel like Resident Evil, Dead Space, and Alan Wake should be the ones, you know? But I don't know anything about it. Spaz isn't nominated for Best Sound Design. You cheeky bastards. Sound clip. How are you remembering all of this stuff? How are you remembering all of this? Jeez. Even I don't remember half of this, half the stuff I get, I get through saying all the time. All right, gang. This one's on you. What do you think I should vote for? Because honestly speaking, I think I'm gonna end up doing Resident Evil 4 because it's the one I'm most familiar with. I'm probably gonna go with Resi 4. What say you, people of the deep? My brain is very selective when it comes to memory, so consider this a grand achievement. I've said things so many times. I'm surprised you didn't put in Happy Faz Day on that one. I'm going to pick Resident Evil 4 for this one because it's the only one that I am familiar with to talk about, really. I think I'm going to go with that one. Also, it didn't let me... yeah, okay. Best score and music. Oh, no, this sucks. Actually, no, this sucks. I voted and it was like, nope, I forgot Final Fantasy 16 is right there. And I was just singing the Final Fantasy 16 theme instead of the Legend of Zelda theme. So I'm going to go with that one. I was like, what the fuck, Faz? Oh, God. If Faz was in a fighting game, the quote for this counter was, you cheeky bastard. You're right. You're completely correct, Amadeus. You're right. I was wrong. How did I? Because Octopath was indeed because actual best OST. Oh wait, hang on. Faz, wait. What? Octopath 2 was robbed though. Octopath 2 was probably robbed. Yes. Yes, it was. I'm trying to think of another game that we had, but I really loved 16. Why can't I love 16? I did like Tears of the Kingdom's OSTs. They're always timeless, so I can always expect it to be there. What soundtrack does Alan Wake have? I say this, but yeah, Octopath 2 seems more like Octopath Travelers 2. Jeez, didn't make it. Yeah. Oh, Live Alive. I forgot Live Alive came out around the same time too. Borislav Slavov. No idea what Baldur's Gate 3 sounds like. Hi-Fi Rush having the thing. Final Fantasy deserves it for the fact that the main composer Soken did a chunk of it while undergoing treatment for cancer and still produced a phenomenal OST. You know, that little chestnut makes me annoyed because was it in best audio? Yeah, it should have been here too, and it wasn't. And that's annoying. Like, it should have been in audio as well, because I feel like that should have been the one, you know? Not even Hideki from Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. That is true. True. Why wasn't Bomb Rush Cyberpunk in here? Did anyone get a chance to play Bomb Rush Cyberpunk? I really wanted to play that. I still do. I might play it once I finally get around to finishing Tears of the Kingdom, because I want to try and finish that before Tekken 8 comes out. So the intention is to try, once we've beaten Gaiden, assuming that I've not got another game to jump into immediately, I'm probably going to be playing, because I can't think of another big release except for Persona 5 Tactica, and I do want to try Tactica, but I don't know if I'll ever get a chance to play Tactica. Because I want to be realistic with the timing of it all. It's like, I do want the code, but if I don't play it, what am I going to do? What comes first? You finish Tears of the Kingdom or Prinny finishes Soul Hackers 2? I was wondering about this one. I'm not going to lie. I was wondering about this one. Imagine I had Soul Hackers 2 when that first came out. Jeez, that would have been terrible. That I would still, because think I'll get Tactica, but not sure. As long as Tactica is somewhere between the 30 to 60 hour range, like if it's the same as what I'd expect a Three Houses game type of game to be, then it will be fine. But from what I've been understanding about Persona Q and Strikers, they were long. And if that's the anticipation we're getting with Tactica, that might be a problem. I'm trying. Look, Amadeus, please understand, I am trying to get into Persona, and I just have not found a game where I can suitably finish a game. And I have to consider that timing, because you gotta remember, if I don't finish Persona 3 Reload, guess what it interrupts? Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. And if there's anything I've learnt from hanging out with you guys, you will just make me play Rebirth. So I'm going to do that. I think I'll get Tactic on the show. Just play the dancing games. That's true. Soul 3 Hackers gonna come out before Pretty plays SH2. Jeez. I'm sorry, Pretty. I'm sorry. Please don't blame me. God. I'm sorry, Pretty. Please don't blame me on this one. I'm probably going to, like, I feel like Tears of the Kingdom will be far shorter than Soul Hackers, but damn, wait, Faz, you hosted a Persona 4 Arena Ultimate, you're part of the series. You are a part of the series. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, but I've not beaten the game. Pretty will be listening to this on the work break. I highly doubt it, but we shall see. We shall see. So yeah, I'm placing it on 16. Although Tears of the Kingdom seems to be always the one I come back to whenever it comes to listening. It's just, you know what I'll say it is, before 16, anytime I would listen to a soundtrack where I would be doing stuff, it would generally be Tears of the Kingdom or like Sonic soundtracks. Has 3 good songs, but they're really good 3 songs. Let's be fair. And we think they have 3 good songs. They have a crap ton of songs. We just don't know half of them. Like, it has so many good lo-fi style musics, because there was so many music, like, we only remember like 3 or 4 of the themes in Breath of the Wild, but it has so many great hub world style music, or just like lo-fi or weather. They have music for literally everything that you can't remember all of it, you know? Or like they have a music sting for when it becomes sunrise and sunset. Like, who does that? Nobody. But I will give Final Fantasy 16 this. It has some epic ass music, and it's given one for every theme, for every boss type. And even though from time to time, I will say this as it is wholeheartedly, that sometimes the music seems too similar to other soundtracks, I'm happy. Like, I don't mind that my mind mixes it, because I just want to listen to it regardless. Of, you know, that one time where you fight against Titan and it goes all full anime for no reason. I'm like, all right, fine, I guess this is what we're doing now. Okay, best art direction. We are very close to the end. Best art direction: Tears of the Kingdom once again, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Lies of P, Hi-Fi Rush, and Alan Wake 2. Find the Flame. Come on, exactly right. Exactly. I agree with you. Amadeus. It's a Mario. Now I just want to do that all the time. Jeez. I'd say hi to Rush. No, I like that version better. Hi to Rush. I've not heard of Lies of P soundtrack. The only person I know who's played it on stream is Foxbot. Hi-Fi Rush is literally a soundtrack-driven game. Again, Cyberpunk Bomb Rush not making it on here is still weird. Um, would say a TOTK, but it's the same as Breath of the Wilds. I know Ben Stars Mario. I now want Ben Stars Mario to say "Wowie Zowie." He's like, "Wowie Zowie." No, that sounds way too much like Snake. But yeah, I'd probably give if I have to go by like original sound design, probably Lies of P deserves it the most because it's a new IP, and it's a different setup. But at the same time, it also uses a lot of the stuff that exists type situation, right? So personally, technically speaking, the one that suits it the most is probably gonna be Alan Wake 2. Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom is the one I'm most familiar with, so that should be the one I should go with. But Super Mario Bros. Wonder, picking a completely new style and adding new stuff to it is not an easy feat. The downside is that it's doing stuff that it already does. Just for singing piranha plants. Exactly, right? So this one's a bit of a toughie. I'm gonna leave this one. I'm gonna let the chat sway a little. Everybody can influence what I think, but I'm probably gonna give it to I'm probably gonna vote for Tears of Kingdom because then otherwise I've got it's the one I'm most familiar with. I love the ambience. I think that's the only downside to Tears of Kingdom is that it also makes me want to fall asleep when it comes to the games that do make me want to fall asleep. I've always style and cutscene animations are great. I need to play Hi-Fi Rush for me to do that. Because I remember this coming out around the same time as Cyberpunk Bomb Rush. I think this came out first and then Cyberpunk Bomb Rush. Cyberpunk Bomb Rush. I don't like that. It's not called Cyberpunk Bomb Rush. But oh well. Cyberpunk. But technically speaking, I think Alan Wake 2 is gonna be the one that wins. Because I don't know anything about Lies of Peace soundtracks, but if it's anything like an Elden Ring style soundtrack, it's gonna be amazing. Super Mario Bros. Wonder. We didn't actually get to hear much of the soundtrack when we were working on it, so can't exactly comment. So I'm gonna go with Legend of Zelda. I'm sorry, but I didn't play the other one. Okay, I didn't play the other one. Okay, we're on the last three. Best narrative. I would probably say Phantom Liberty had the most interesting in terms of thing, but I liked Final Fantasy 16 a lot. But I know for a fact Baldur's Gate 3 is gonna win. It's because it's literally a narrative-driven game. So there's one little shout. I think Baldur's Gate 3 is gonna win. I've not voted Baldur's Gate 3 once in this, but Grand Blue versus Friday Rising better get nominated soundtrack of next year. Let's hope. Let's hope. It needs all the anime it can get, but most likely it's gonna be Tekken 8. Tekken 8, if that doesn't win some form of sound design or, I hope it wins narrative game of the year. But I hope it wins a narrative setup. But damn man, that's gonna be that's a tough sell. Marvel Spider-Man 2. I don't know much about this game. Amadeus, you are the expert here. I'll vote for FF16 because I gotta vote for Sid. Shidu. I didn't get a chance to play Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty. I actually watched someone play through it, and from what I'd seen from Games Little Playground, it was a really good story. It was a really there was a really tragic element to the game, and there was a really if you get a good ending, it's not a good ending, if that makes any sense. I don't know if anybody cares about spoilers for Phantom Liberty, but generally speaking, from what I have seen from that gameplay, at the very least, the story was on point. It was really good. Might have been a bit of self-contained, but the idea, I don't know if Idris Elba can still do an American accent. Maybe he shouldn't have gone for an American accent, but generally speaking, it was a really good story. I felt sad by the end of it. This is what was happening. This is how my day goes. So if a story is really good, I will end up going. So on Gamers Little Playground, because the games can sometimes last a good couple of hours. I was watching it while I was going to London for one of the events. I can't remember which one. It might have been WASD. And then what I would do was, that was one of the few times where I legitimately just put that on and I would just watch what was happening, because that's how engrossed I was in the story. Like, the first part of the story is completely different to the end. What you think is happening at the start of the game is completely different to what you think is happening at the end of the game, which is what I think most people wanted from a Cyberpunk 2077 style game. It's basically like the anime in that sense. This that's the thing. So I'm talking a lot about that. Whereas Final Fantasy 16 did make me cry. It did make me cry. So I'm gonna go with pick 16 because that's a very easy answer. I'm gonna go with 16. Best game direction. I think Baldur's Gate 3 would probably be it. I gave it. I know the exact. Sid didn't fall, so the story couldn't win. FF16 sweep. To be fair, I have been voting for FF16. That's probably my most voted game at this point, isn't it? This is if these two end up being in Game of the Year categories, it's basically 2018 all over again. And Super Mario Bros. Wonder did not, like, I was surprised that it didn't. There's certain times where it didn't get it, but yeah. I wait. This is why I want Sonic Superstars to win best family game, just because it's the one category where Sonic and Mario are in the same category. This is like, all right, here we go again. Some wars never, some things never change. Wars never change. I want Sonic. I want Sonic to win that one just because I think it'll be funny. Like I feel like that's what you should always do. You have to bring your A game to everything. It's like there's like great rivalries in history. The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, versus Stallone versus Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sonic versus Mario. You can't not, you can't not have that story just because it's always a funny story to tell. Marvel versus DC. Marvel is never going to be against DC because DC is just not in the same neighborhood right now. But yeah, I'm gonna be. What was it? What was the best game direction? Awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. I'm probably gonna give it to Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Because while I do think Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom has a lot of innovative changes, it's like what we expected. It's a sequel to a game, where Super Mario Bros. Wonder is more kind of what you expected from a Super Mario Bros. Wonder game, a complete remix of what we're expecting. So I'm gonna go with that. But if I had to be legit on what did and did not change, I'm probably gonna argue the point of I'm gonna probably argue the point about Alan Wake 2. Because I can't speak on Baldur's Gate 2 and 3. I don't know how well or how critical Baldur's Gate 2 was. And definitely Marvel Spider-Man 2 was a completely different game. Alan Wake 2 is such a huge departure from the first game and I think the Nightmare sequel game that they did, that I can't imagine that game it's such a sweeping departure from the first one. That I feel like it's improved and maybe even perfected what the game, like if the first one was a bit of a hit and miss type situation, this one improved on it, used everything that it missed and improved everything that it missed. It improved everything that it hit and fixed all the things that it missed. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to some Mario Bros. Wonder because I feel like that's what it accomplished with that game. It was noticeable from the get-go, and that's what I wanted. So yeah. Oh right, sorry, hang on. I went to the wrong category, and we are on the final category. Who is in Game of the Year? Game of the Year, recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. It's 2018, boyos! It's 2018! Mario Bros. Mario and Zelda once again. Together again. Zelda won last time. I highly doubt Zelda's going to win this time. But the fact that Resident Evil 4 made it up here shows good on quality. Marvel Spider-Man 2 and Alan Wake are the two games I'd probably least likely think is going to win. Skull Island isn't here. Rigged. L list. L show. L Jeff. Yes, we will tell him whether we co-stream or do not. We are going to still tell him the same thing. I'm going to argue that The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom deserves. Oh wait, no, hang on. Recognize a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. For most people, a 10 out of 10. It's based. Do you know what I could equate Legend of Zelda to right now? AEW. AEW has some great content right now. When it as a wrestling show, right? But it gives so much. If you're so used to a 5-course meal, so a 5-star meal, that I can't imagine. You can't when you go back to something when you're so used to something so good that you don't know what bad is type situation. So you play something terrible to give you you need something that's like a palate cleanser, you know? That's what Legend of Zelda has at the moment. Mario Bros is actually the same thing. So really it's between the other four. I know what I'm voting for because I've only played one of them, which is Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, and it's always deserved. That's the thing. But to be fair, and here's my thing, yeah. I think Mario Bros should win on the grounds that it was snubbed in 2018. Also no Bill Clinton kid to be for best actor, for shame. To be fair, he had the breakout moment of last year, best debut if anything. If he just stood there and then walked back, or even if he just said, "Thank you everyone for playing, doing this," oh no, don't worry about me, and then just walks off, and that's it. Like, didn't ruin the moment, but just like kept it, and nobody batted an eyelid, and it took like 2-3 months later before people realized that he wasn't part of anything. It's like, maybe that would have been better. But the fact is, I'm surprised that FF16 isn't nominated for this. That's a good point. FF16 not being part of Game of the Year is actually surprising. 16 died because Ben Starr wanted to be Mario, you know. Bill Clinton was such a convincing actor. No one knew he wasn't supposed to be there until he announced it. That is true. That is so true. That is funny. Like, they even cut back to him as well, which is even funnier. It's like, hang on, we're not done yet, it seems. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Mongoose. I'm surprised. You've been here the whole time, by the way, Mongoose. Hello. Hi. Happy Fast Day. That took me off guard. People could have skipped ahead, but I appreciate everybody just going through the whole journey with me. I really appreciate that. I've been playing Splat 3. Are you going to be you're not going to Breeze, are you? But if I had to pick, the thing is, like, everything on the right-hand side is everything from the start of the year, and everything from the left-hand side is more closer to the end. You are coming to Breeze. Yay! That means I'm going to see you there. I'm going to see you at Breeze, so see you in about a week's time. Hopefully we'll get to talk and chat and hang out. Yeah, I'm one of the staff for it. So I'm having to be there. I have no choice. It's in Manchester and I have to do it, you know. And plus, like, I know half the organizers and everybody kind of like, oh, we just want you to be there. You're just being there. I'm just like, okay, I guess I haven't got a choice. And this is kind of weird how sometimes that works. But yeah, I crashed the stream. You did crash the stream. If I had to say what game deserves it the most, I think Baldur's Gate 3 will win. Because it's the game that was the outlier. I'm going to vote Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. But I personally, just for memes, I want Mario Bros. To win. Because Zelda was snubbed Odyssey, and Odyssey was arguably the best Mario game in such a long time. And this is like, to me, this is like a step back. This is like easy mode for Mario. A side-scrolling Mario game is like, you know, a walk in the park. It's a 12 out of 10 on a normal day, you know. For Nintendo, for Mario, for everyone else, this is a 10 out of 10. For Mario, this is Tuesday, you know. That's what Mario Bros. Wonder is. And for everyone else, everyone else has to struggle to get to this point. Mario and Zelda together again. and then one of them has to die. This is Judge Dredd, bro, boss. This is what it is. The only thing good enough to beat Nintendo is Nintendo itself, and it might actually get beaten out by an indie studio by the name of Baldur's Gate 3. I think Baldur's Gate 3 was gonna win. Oh, it didn't seem like it died on my side. It just looked like it just froze for a little bit. But yeah, this is a bit of a struggle, honestly speaking, in terms of what is and isn't happening. Twitch being Twitch, exactly. So what is everyone else voting for? I think Baldur's Gate is gonna win. Alan Wake 2 being in the huge turnaround that it was deserves a win. Resident Evil 4 being a remake of a title that has been reimagined and to the point where it still works to today's standards is a win. Marvel Spider-Man 2 is the only one I question. But it'll be great to see you in person after how long? The last time you've seen me was was when I was still part of NPUC and when we did the Splatoon videos. I think it was when Splatoon 2 launched and Animal Crossing was the last times you might have properly seen me. I'm still going to be doing content while I'm out there, but it'll be nice to be able to hang out. I just never know what to talk about. Oh, wait, no. This is not Game of the Year, is it? Oh, it is Game of the Year. It says this is... Oh, no, it's because I haven't casted the 31. So this seems to be the one for me. But yeah, what is everyone else voting for? Before I forget. I think Resident Evil 4... I think Super Mario Bros. Wonder deserves a win, but it's like that long. Geez, we'll correct that. Hopefully. Do you know what else is coming from for Breeze from your ends, or is it just you? The only thing I like, so for me personally, this is I'm going to be voting for Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, but TOTK for me. But I think Baldur's Gate will win. Oh, okay. So I didn't get anything from Amadeus or PR Valky on this one. But yeah, I think out of the lot in terms of... So the way I kind of want it to be is like, how does it present as a composition? And so far, Zelda is the one because it's done every... Like, how do you turn a 10 out of 10 game, you know? Ellery and Louis Boy are coming from NSW, but that's it from down here. I see. Hey, can we go into the team? Who's your fourth? So to me, Super Mario Bros. Wonder being on there, yeah, I think BG3 is gonna take it. BG3, I've not voted BG3 once in this entire thing, which is surprising. I thought I would have voted one of some. I thought something would have come up where it's like, yeah, I'll go for BG3, but nope, I went for none of the things I voted for was BG3. So I'm probably gonna go with Tears of the Kingdom at this point in time. But at the way this, let me try and like word this out better. Super Mario Bros. Wonder being a remix is of what we come to expect from all the titles, from what we expect from a Mario title, is more the impressive part all the time. Every year is like, every time it does it, it always reaches that sort of higher expectation condensed setup. They're on another team from me. I'm on Random's team, but it only has 3 so far. So yeah, oof. Resi 4 being a remake is important to understand. Marvel Spider-Man 2 taking its skew is that its main gimmick that it's a different take on the stories that we are familiar with. Baldur's Gate 3 is the biggest surprise and therefore also the biggest meme of 2023 so far. And Alan Wake 2 being the biggest improvement from the previous one. So people wanted another Alan Wake game because it was different. It's the same reason why nice to see nods for Pikmin 4 and Advance Wars 2. I think Pikmin should win its categories, but it's just a bit of a struggle to convince people to know what Pikmin even is. So these were, I believe, all picked by critics, like a sort of like, industry veterans, and then they put it out to the people, like, based on industry professionals, they believe these are the best 5 or 6 or 10 games to do a thing. I think my biggest, but yeah, I'm going to be voting Tears of the Kingdom for this one. But generally speaking, I think Super Mario Bros. Wonder should win one because it's not won a single one. And every time a Mario Bros. Every time a Zelda game's come out, a Mario Bros. Game has come out at the same time. And it should be at this level, and it should win once, to be Game of the Year. That would be funny. I feel like it's a safe bet to do that. Did I vote for Hello Kitty and Nick Brawlers because I hadn't played anything in those categories and wanted to stroll? Yes. Yes, I did. Of course you did. Pierre Valkyrie did the exact same thing. I think Pierre Valkyrie did the exact same thing. For me, I ended up voting for Genshin, and I think I did Honkai and the other one. But yeah, that's my 30. Rewind. What the hell's rewind? It's one of the best press. Oh, here we go. Oh yeah, fuck the Oscars. This guy. This was in 2017. Perfect. 2016. Of course he's gonna do this one. No, I'm surprised. I've heard of 2 of the esports peeps of the teams. You've heard of 2 of them. I didn't even hear of one of them. All right, this is the 2015 one where it was like really weird. You're not going past 2014? Don't give me that. My best friend Hideo Kojima is actually stuck in the in a well. Don't forget, I haven't forgotten that you did the original Game Awards. Usually it's 0, so I'm surprised. That's true. Do you know what the one I was annoyed with the most? Oh yeah, so just in case I didn't say it properly. So those are all my nominees for does it actually remember what I picked? It does! That's actually really cool. It does remember what I've picked. So, Evo, the Evil Geniuses, the guy who plays COD, CS:GO 2, Iron Mouse, Resident Evil 4, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, Super Mario Bros. Movie, Street Fighter, Hot Wheels Unleashed because we wanted to troll, Pikmin, so that's what we picked for Best Sim and Strategy, Best Family, Sonic Superstars because I wanted to beat Mario for no reason except for that's funny, Best Fighting Game, Pocket Bravery, even though Street Fighter 6 is in there. Best RPG, Final Fantasy 16. Best Action and Adventure Game, Legend of Zelda. Best Action Game, for some reason this is Action Adventure and Action Game are 2 separate things. Hi-Fi Rush is what we picked because the community asked me to do that. Best VR and AR title, Resident Evil 8 is for VR and AR. Best Mobile Game, Honkai Impact. Best debut game, Venba. Best independent game, Sea of Stars. Best community support, Cyberpunk 2077. Best ongoing, Final Fantasy 14, Burdened by Greatness. Games for Impact, Venba once more. Innovation in accessibility, Street Fighter 6 because the blind man won a game on a large platform, and not only that, it was celebrated. That's the point. That why it should be in the esports titles. Geoff, you plonker. Best performance, Ben Starr as Mario. Best audio design, Resident Evil 4 remake. Best score, Final Fantasy 16. Design art, best art direction, Breath of the Wild. Tears of the Kingdom. Best narrative, Final Fantasy 16. Best game directive, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and Game of the Year, Tears of the Kingdom. So I haven't got a single one that is Baldur's Gate, which is surprising. So, how many times have I mentioned Tears of the Kingdom? 1. 2. 3. 3 times I've mentioned Tears of the Kingdom. I'm trying to figure out which one's my most common. So, 3 for Tears of the Kingdom. So, how many times have I mentioned 16? 1. 2, 3, 4. 4 times. 16 is actually my sweep game. Wow. Okay. You know what? Fine. 16 is actually. I'm biased to Tears of the Kingdom, but right now it's definitely 16. So, and I've actually beaten 16 as opposed to Tears of the Kingdom. So there's that to consider. So those are all my choices. Please let me know what you guys thought in the chat or in the comments. What you guys voted for and what your reasonings were, even though I probably spent more time talking about this than I did. But we went through a whole thing about it, and if you do want to catch up on it, you're more than welcome to. So thank you very much for everybody who did watch this part of the stream or watch this in the future. I hope to see you.